Hi, and welcome to my channel, Jones Knows. Today, Jones Knows Vinyl Flooring, Part 1. We are rehabbing a health and wellness center with Nucore flooring from Floor and Decor. It's a great product to work with. We're going to do a whole video series here on how to install it properly. And I'm going to focus in on one room in the beginning, showing start to finish, broken up amongst 2 to 3 videos. They'll come up one after another, and then we'll show the project as a whole, and then I plan on doing a review on Nucore flooring itself. I've actually taken a piece submerged in water, taken some more pieces, and put some heavy weighted furniture on them, so we're going to test just how durable the product is. But for now, let's get started. We are installing the Nucore. It's a floor that Floor and Decor sells a lot of my customers purchase this flooring. It is a great floor in my opinion. So what we have here is a floating vinyl floor. This particular product is 6.5 mil thick. It has a antimicrobial stain and scratch resistant wear layer. It's supposed to be extra rigid, which is extra stiff top layer, which what that means to you, they don't often explain this, is that it's more resistant to denting when you place heavy pieces of furniture on the floor. This particular product has a natural cork backing on it, so that means that we do not need to put an underlay. So here's our cork layer on the back. That takes the place of the padding. So that's a nice feature, so it's going to save you a little bit of money. I mean, it's probably a little bit better than some of the paddings out there. So you see, this product is 6.5 mil thick, 7 inches wide. We're getting 23.34 square feet in the box. So this particular product has a great locking system on it. It has the drop lock on the end joint. What that means is it's just going to fall right in on the end joints, and it makes for a very user-friendly installation, especially for the do-it-yourself group out there. Hunter, do I have a knife over there? You see my knife? Did you say you have blades?
Yeah. Probably going to do this.
Alright. I think I got one fresh side still.
How much space do you throw in?
Enough for a T-molding. The T-molding's pretty thin, so don't have to worry too much. Alright, one of my favorite things about doing a vinyl floor is the way that it cuts. Now we will use a laminate cutter, or I should say you can use a laminate cutter, you can use a chop saw, you can use a skill saw, I guess you can use anything, but what I recommend, one of my favorite things about cutting on the vinyl is you just use your knife. You score it, and it snaps. So when you start out a floor, we don't want to, I tell my customers that when I look across this room, you can see the old floor. These guys did a pretty good job. You have an end joint, you have an end joint, but when I look across this floor, I don't see another end joint lined up on that. So when you look across the floor, you don't want to see a repeating of this end joint over here and again over here. I don't want to see this end joint anywhere in this room. Alright, so let's get to it and we'll show you how this stuff installs. Alright, so what I'm doing here is we actually, on the first row, it's really important to make sure that it's lined up even. And you can actually use a rubber mallet, which is the safest tool to use installing any kind of flooring, laminate, wood. Rubber mallet, and we actually tap the end joint down. Now these end joints actually will drop into place. This is called a drop and lock system. So once we put the long joint of the flooring in, we slide it to the wall. Now you're going to hear about people say you have to use spacers and stuff like that along the wall. Absolutely do, but let's start on the wall, get the first couple rows installed, and then we'll pull it out and put our spacers there. So we're not fighting it, trying to keep spacers in place and flooring lined up. Let's make it simple. We'll get 3 rows installed, we'll then pull it off the wall, and we'll leave necessary expansion. We want to apply it into the long joint. We want to push it down until it bumps into the previous board. And now we're holding on. We're going to push down on this end and work it in. And then pushing this into place, finishing it off with our mallet. We're going to slide it down till it bumps this down right here. You'll actually feel it go in. Now that we've got it basically in, we finish it off with the mallet and tap it the rest of the way in. And that's how you install the Nucore. Back to repeating the previous steps. We're going to put our full board in along the wall. Very important to line it up on the ends with the previous board. Line it up, tap it down with a rubber mallet, and then the next long board, full board here, long joint, kind of wiggle it, get your long joint in, slide it till you bump, and pushing down on the end joint with your finger, and then tapping it the rest of the way in with the mallet. Keep repeating these steps, making sure that we blend our color because we want to mix up the colors. Now, we've come to our end of our first 3 rows. So we've got... Now, you think that your first instinct is to take the pieces that we used to make the starters with and use that little piece that fits nice here. We don't want to use the ones that we started the rows with to use as the enders yet. Now, you say why? Because that's a good way to save waste. I have 3 rows here. If I were to use the 3 pieces that fell off of the starter boards, then great, yeah, I didn't waste much, but now I don't have any starters and I'll have to repeat the starters and make those again on the other end. What we want to do is we want to take full boards to make these cuts with, because we'll use the piece that we need here, and the piece that is left over we can use to start our next row with. That's how we get our starters and saves completely on the waste. These boards that we started these first 3 rows with, we're going to put those aside and wait till we get to the last 3 rows on when we finish this room. That's where we're going to use those pieces, okay? So here's what we do. We don't need this tape measure. Take this thing, throw it away. Don't need it. Real simple way to do this. We take our board. This is our long tongue. This is our long tongue here. So our long tongues are facing each other. So the board's actually backwards. We take our knife. You see where that board ends? And this one starts. We don't even need to mark this with a pencil. We got this board is all the way against the wall. This board's right here on our end joint. We take our knife. We allow 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch for expansion. We have a big thick base, so I'm going to leave 1/4 of an inch space, 1/4 of an inch off that tongue. We're going to put our knife. So now I know that's where I want to make the cut. And we're just going to make our line. Alright, so we did our 1/4 inch. I like to snap it on my knee. You could probably bend it in the brakes, otherwise it's just kind of fun to me. That piece, now we reverse it and it fits we repeat the process. What I like to do is actually lay them all out at once. We got this one. We got another full right here. We're up against the wall. That's right there. You see how we mark it? We just allow 1/4 of an inch. And it doesn't take much when you're cutting this stuff. It's just a straight line. We'll do the same thing with this row here. Remember, we take the boards that are our leftover pieces. They're gonna go down to this end, and that's how we get a completely random look over and over again. Well, that's it for part 1. But YouTube only lets me make 15-minute videos, so I have to break these up into 2 or 3 parts. So be sure to tune into part 2. We're going to go over how to cut a jam, how to make jam cuts, how to mark the last board and the row when you get to the wall on the other side of the room. They're literally dancing in the street in front of our job here before we went home. So it was a party. Everybody was happy. So be sure to tune into the next video. It's going to be very informative. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to ding the bell and subscribe. Thank you. How do you feel about the installation? Like a bird on a tree. Do you have any comments or anything you'd like to add? I'm just sitting here. No? Nope. All right. That's what I wanted to hear. It's clear to see from up here. The world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.